Welcome to another trip down the Bourbon Road with your hosts, Jim and Mike. So grab a glass of your favorite bourbon and kick back.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Shannon.
And I'm Mike Hyatt.
And this is the Bourbon Road. And today, Mike, we are reviewing another craft distillery whiskey. It's our craft distillery Monday episode. Snow is coming down like crazy out there.
Yeah, I kind of went back to being a kid today, Jim. Me and Vivian, we got a sled. You know, over here at Jeff the Ben Farm, we got those big hills. So, like a giant kid, I got on that sled, went down that hill a couple times. Then we have our side-by-side, so we drug each other around on that sled behind the side-by-side. Kind of fun. Woodrow was having a great time in the snow. It was nice to see us a little bit of snow.
I was kind of thinking about you. You told me you were going to do a little bit of fun in the snow today, and I was a little worried, out there because that's quite a hill behind your house. And I was thinking, you go down that hill and you got the trees and then you got the creek. And I'm thinking with it being like 12 degrees outside right now, I would just pray to hit a tree because I would not want to end up in that creek.
Well, I'm a big man, and once I got moving, it didn't seem like I was going to stop. So what I did was I put my feet off the sled and came to a abrupt stop, which was good. It was good. It was fun to get out there, kind of act like a kid, laugh and giggle a little bit, and have some fun. But I'm glad we're getting to drink some bourbon tonight. It kind of warmed me up, right?
Yeah, I didn't get out in the cold too much. I went out and did a few tasks around the house, but Melody and I kind of stayed in tonight a little bit and just we just stayed out of the cold because it might be 12 degrees now, but it's supposed to be 6 by morning. So
yeah, that's cold right there.
That's cold.
Well, today, Jim, we got a Louisville Legends bourbon on our show, right?
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited about this. This is kind of a local thing, right? This is University of Louisville Star kind of started this, right?
Yeah, Russ Smith, he was a player at the University of Louisville from 2010 to 2014, won the 2013 National Basketball Champion, which is a big thing, right? 64 teams go in, one team comes out, his team wins. He's not a big guy. He's only 6 foot tall. I mean, for some people, that's a big guy, but he's 6 foot tall. He's still playing basketball today. Kind of a B leaguer right now, but he's played in the NBA. He was an NBA player for a while, but now he's got this bourbon.
Yeah, so he was a point guard. So point guards aren't always really tall, right? 6 foot's kind of right in the middle somewhere, I guess. Well, maybe not in the middle, at the low end, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say 6 foot to 6'3", 6'4" is what your normal point guard would be. But he's got all kinds of awards and stuff. He's been a great basketball player. And he's not from Louisville. But he stayed here, right? Which is a good thing. He's come back here to bring us some bourbon, which is a nice thing. Now, we don't have their standard bottle. This is their kind of step up of a bottle, which I was glad to buy and stuff. But you said that he's about to his jersey's about to be retired, right?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty big deal right now. It's been on the news for the past couple of weeks. I guess there's I think on January the 22nd, they're going to retire his jersey to the rafters there at the stadium in downtown Louisville. And they've got a game that, they're going to do that at, and it's kind of a big deal. They've been advertising it. So yeah, Louisville boy, maybe not born here, but certainly a hometown kid, and did well. Still, guess he's still playing ball in China right now, right?
Well, he's actually up at Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I think that's the Indiana Pacers farm team.
All right.
But he's playing up there right now. He came back from China. He played in China for a long time. Played over in the European League, I think, a little bit. He's bounced around here or there in the NBA. But really what we're here to talk about is his bourbon. So what we got here is We don't know the mash bill of this. We don't know the distillery. We took a guess thinking it might be contract distilled out or sourced out of Wilderness Trail because it's bottled in Harrisburg, which is right down the road, right? Or right up the road. But that's just taking a stab at it. Does say aged a minimum of 3 years, 110 proof, kind of a square squatty bottle, kind of like Wilderness Trail's bottle a little bit. I've actually got a whole bunch of bottles here, and it's pretty close to their bottle. Now they call this the green label or the Louisville Legend bottle. Kind of a golden, honey golden in there, maybe.
So this is right in the middle of their offerings. They've got what they call their blue label, which is I think it's a 90 proofer, and it's right at about $40. And then they've got this green label, which is their 100 proofer, which is they call the Legend, and this is right around $55. And then they got that $200 bottle, the 12-year standard, gold standard, they call it. You see that one in the store?
I did. So picked this up at Liquor Barn. I think that's the Springhurst Liquor Barn. So I looked at the 90 proofer, and then I saw this 110 proof, and then I saw that 12-year, and I was like, we're going to go stick this midway because we're buying this ourselves. I bought a bottle, but I'd heard a lot of stuff about these bottles flying off the shelf, and maybe it is just a Louisville thing, but I'm always excited to see a new brand out there. So, but Jim, heck, we've talked enough about this thing. Let's nose it.
Let's check it out. All right.
I'm getting a little bit of honey on that. We said it was kind of honey amber, golden amber, maybe a little honeysuckle.
Yeah, the nose has got a little bit of a bite to it. You get that spice, not too much sweetness, but it does have that sort of subdued honey sweetness, like you're saying.
Maybe a jalapeno honey with that spice.
Yeah, there you go. Sort of a hot pepper jelly, kind of a hot pepper honey or honey jelly, or yeah.
Getting a little bit of vanilla on it. Just that tad whiff of oak. Not very much at all.
But not a lot of sweetness on the nose.
Nope. It's more, you get more spice, I think, out of this thing than anything. Maybe a root beer candy. That's another thing I'm getting out of this. I don't know why.
Well, that's a lot to say about a whiskey we haven't tried before. There's a few notes there on the nose. What do you say we taste it?
Well, I say cheers, Jim.
Cheers. Definitely not much sweetness up front on that.
No, it's got that pepper spice, though. The pepper spice is there. A little bit of that youthfulness is coming out, I think. And there's that Kentucky hug just popped me right in the chest.
So it's under 4, but it's not super youthful. It's just got a hint of it, I think. And you could tell that it could have spent just a little more time in the barrel, but it is a little drying.
Yeah, for 110 proof, I think the proof's there. Like you said, it is very drying. Almost like a dry red wine you would get. The oak is there for sure. I was thinking a little bit of mint on there, maybe just a tad bit.
Yeah, the sizzle of the spice sticks around for a while. I'm not getting a whole bunch of hug. It's kind of staying in my mouth. I'm getting a little bit. For 110 proof, I'd expect a little bit more hug. Yeah, this is kind of a spicy cough droppy a little bit. I don't know if you agree with me on that, Mike, but kind of reminds me a little bit of like a eucalyptus cough drop.
I was going to say something like that. I'm getting a little bit of hint of cinnamon on there now with just a tad bit of sweetness. Something that's more, we haven't talked about this in a while, Jim. Maybe over a year we haven't talked about this, but let's bring this back up. Those cinnamon toothpicks. Yeah. From our youth. I'm getting that on this right here, that cinnamon toothpick, because the cinnamon toothpicks weren't super sweet, but you'd get that bite of cinnamon.
You get the bite of the cinnamon, but not the sweetness, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. So this is not a bourbon for somebody who likes a sweeter bourbon. This is something a little more spicy. It's got like I said, it's a little bit drying. The proof, might be a little high. Maybe it could have been proofed down a little bit more. I'm not going to complain about 110 proof because a lot of times I'm asking for that, right? But I think that in this particular case, it probably would have been a little more appealing at 105 or 100. I'm not sure, but
well, this would play nice in a cocktail, Jim. Really, really good. And when I'm thinking about cocktails, I got to think about our good friend over there at Cruise Customs Flags. And he's got those whiskey girls, right? And I wondered what a cocktail would taste like in one of those.
I haven't put a cocktail in one of them. I did have a pour of bourbon in one the other day, and it's got that nice feel to it, right? It's got that sort of solid wood feel. You feel kind of rustic when you're drinking your bourbon out of it. I don't say that the charcoal on the inside of the grail has a lot of effect on the flavor of the bourbon. I think it might even be sealed, but it's fun to drink out of. That's for sure.
It is fun to drink out of. The great thing about Chris is that he also has these amazing American flags made out of bourbon barrels, made by veterans, veteran owned and operated. I mean, how much better can you get, Jim? He's taking and reusing those bourbon barrels. We got a couple of those on our property that they're just used as planters, but I like to see them as made as a piece of art. I got one, you got one. We know several friends that have bought one from Chris. Listeners, if you're going to buy a product, this is it right here. American made, veteran owned, veteran operated, just a beautiful piece of art to hang in your office, to hang in your business, to hang in your home above your fireplace, to show your patriotism. We'd appreciate you to go on over to Cruise Customs Flags, put in an order today. Tell them the Bourbon Road sent you.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. When you own one of these flags, you start to notice them when you go other places or you see things on television. And I was watching the news in the past couple of days, and there was somebody being interviewed, and they had the flag up on the wall behind them. I thought, that's one of Chris's flags right there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is nice to see those. There's a couple of stores in the Louisville area. Troutman's, kind of a hardware store where you can buy blue jeans and boots and Carhartt, that kind of stuff. They got a big giant Cruise Customs flag inside there. It's nice to see that kind of stuff. It's nice to see businesses supporting other businesses like his. Back to this whiskey, Jim. Overall, I'm happy I bought it. It would go great in a cocktail. We did the cocktails with our wives the other day. This would be perfect for something like this right here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Absolutely. And also, I think I'd like to try the 90 proof. I'm kind of looking forward to trying that 90 proof. I'm thinking I might like that a lot because this has a kind of a unique profile to it, something we haven't had before. And I always get excited when I get to try something that has a profile that I haven't tasted before. I'm feeling like the proof's a little high in this one for what it is. But that 90 proofer, that might be the ticket. So I look forward to trying that one.
Yeah, pretty awesome. I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad to support somebody that's coming back and supporting Louisville, Kentucky, helping rebuild this town, bringing a product to us. And they said it's flying off the shelves. Some stores like, we're out of it. So I was glad to see it, glad to get a bottle of it. So me and you could try it. To me, it'd still be a buy. I like the 110 proof myself. Like I said, it's great for cocktails. I don't know. We've been on this cocktail kick lately of drinking some cocktails at home. Just it's just fun. If you stuck at home, trying to stay home, making those cocktails, a whiskey like this will stand up great in that. So that's my take on it. I would say a short to medium finish on this, though. That drying effect doesn't lend itself to a longer finish. So,
but the hug does build a little bit over time, I feel like. Well, Russ, I have to say, son of Louisville, basketball star, somebody that has a lot of fame in our local town here. Good job on your career. Congratulations on having your jersey retired here in the next couple of weeks here at U of L. And hey, good job on the whiskey. Absolutely.
Well, Jim, where can our listeners find us at?
Well, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can actually find us on TikTok. We have quite a few videos now. Mike's been kicking it. And we also have a private Facebook group called the Bourbon Roadies, and that's where all our good friends hang out. If you want to find your way there, you just go onto Facebook and search for the Bourbon Roadies. It'll come up. Ask to join. 3 questions. Do you like bourbon? Are you 21? And do you agree to play nice? Because once you're in there, we expect you to be one of the team, right, Mike?
Yeah, it's all about the celebration of whiskey, the celebration of life, just having a good time and enjoying each other's company. That's what that group is about. We would appreciate it if you would scroll on up, so make sure that you don't miss any of our episodes. Hit that plus sign, that check sign, that subscribe sign. That'll let you know that, hey, these 2 jokers have just recorded a show and have released it for you. The next thing we'd like for you to do is scroll on down, hit that 5-star review, because you know what I'm about to say. I'm going to bring this bottle of Mrs. Smith. I'm going to get my buddy, the big bad booty daddy of bourbon, to tag along with me. He even made an appearance today in the snow, Jim. Some people might have seen that photo. But seriously, give us that 5-star review. It opens up doors. It gets great bourbon in our hands. It gets great guests on the show. It helps us keep kicking down the bourbon road.
All right. We do 2 shows a week. We do a short episode every Monday, like today's show, where we highlight a single expression from a single distillery. Mike and I will taste it. We'll talk about it. We'll let you know whether or not we think you ought to add it to your bar. We also do a longer episode once a week on Wednesdays, where we have a guest on. We kind of deep dive a topic. Maybe we'll have 2 or 3 bottles of bourbon or whiskey or rye on and go into a little bit more detail. We try to get you to work and get you home. We'd love to have you listen to both episodes every week. Mike has already told you how you make sure that you don't miss one of those episodes. We'd also like you to check out our website, thebourbonroad.com. On there, you'll find our podcast episodes, and you'll find articles on reviews. If you're in the liquor store and you're trying to figure out what to buy, it never hurts to go to thebourbonroad.com and check out our blogs, do a search in there. I'm sure you'll find something to pick up off the shelf. We also have our store in there where you can pick up our swag. If you buy our swag, our T-shirts, our glasses, our hats, our decanters and hip flasks and all the things that we have in our store, when you buy those, you help to fund the Bourbon Road, to help us get down the road to visit that next distillery. It really does make a difference. We'd love to have you reach out to us. Mike and I are very open to conversations with our listeners. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the show. Mike has already told you how to give us a review, but we would love to hear if you've got any ideas for a show. If you think that you've got somebody that would make a good guest, or you think there's a distillery in your hometown that deserves a leg up, we'd love to talk to them. Reach out to us. You could go on our website, the Contact Us page. Reach out to us there. You can send us an email. I'm Jim at thebourbonroad.com. He's Mike at thebourbonroad.com. But like we always say, the best way is to hit up our DM on Instagram. I'm JShannon63.
I'm Big Bourbon Chief.
And we'll see you down
the Bourbon Road.